Good morning and welcome to today's morning mobility session. This is going to be, as always, 20 to 30 minutes of gentle movement designed for seniors, but all are welcome. The only thing that you're going to need today is your body, a little bit of floor space on a comfortable surface, a carpet or a yoga mat, and we'll go ahead and get started. Our first exercise today is going to be for shoulder mobility, upper body mobility. And we're going to start with our hands just behind the back. They don't have to be intertwined, but you could interlock your fingers if you wanted to. And we're going to pull the elbows back and then let them naturally come forward. Pull the elbows back, opening the chest, and then let them come forward. Opening up, squeezing the shoulder blades, and then letting them relax. Getting a nice pinch between the shoulder blades, like you're trying to pull your shoulder blades towards your spine. Try not to arch at the lower back to get that movement. Really keep it upper middle back focused as you squeeze and then let the elbows drop forward. One more time. And then relax. Our second one is going to be for lower body, an alternating lateral lunge stretch. So I'm going to take a nice wide stance. Try to find a position that feels like a comfortable stretch, not too intense, a bit wider than shoulder width apart, and toes pointing forward or slightly out to the side. Then I'm going to shift my weight towards one side as I keep the other leg straight. Come back up, then go to the other side. I'm bending at the hip and the knee, and come back up. One side shifts over, sinking down, back up. Other side, focusing on getting a little stretch in that adductor, inner thigh, or it might feel like a big stretch, sinking down, coming back up. Make sure that the torso stays straight. I'm not rounding too much at the shoulders here. Back up. One more time for each side. Sinking down into that lateral lunge stretch and relax. Good. And then our third one is going to be for the hamstrings. This is going to be an alternating sweep. It takes a little bit of balance, but start by putting one foot in front of the other with the toes up, and then sweep your hands down straight towards the floor, and then forward once you get to about mid-calf, so that we're sinking into that hamstring stretch on the forward leg. And really take your time, especially if this is challenging for balance. Go at your own pace. And it's good to go slowly to emphasize the amount of time that we get in that stretch. One foot forward, toes lifted, reach down and sweep. Reach down, and we'll do one more on each side. Toes up, reach straight down in line with your legs. Another side, fingertips pointing towards the floor, and then sweeping up. Very good. Alrighty, we're going to run through all three of these exercises for one more time. So starting back on that first one, hands just resting on your lower back, and then open up. If you think about the elbows driving this movement, that's often a really helpful cue that can guide the stretch in the shoulder blades without being too intense. So think about elbows pull back, almost like you're trying to pull them together. And the shoulder blades are an extension of that movement. How far back your shoulders move depends so much on the individual, so don't compare your movement to mine or anyone else's. Just go for what feels like a pleasant stretch to you, and then let the elbows relax back forward. One more time. Pull and release. And then we're back to that alternating lateral lunge with the feet nice and wide, toes forward or slightly outward. Give yourself a moment to get there. And then we're thinking about shifting to the side, bending at the hip and the knee, coming back up, almost like you have a chair behind each heel that you're reaching the hips back towards. And that big emphasis is on our inner thigh, our adductor, getting the stretch because we're keeping that leg straight. Shift and back up, shift, and we'll do one more for each side, sinking down and up, last one, sinking down and back up. Very good. And then that third one, going straight into our alternating hamstring sweeps. One foot in front of the other. Toes are lifted, reach down. Especially if your hamstrings tend to be a little tight, this could feel like a pretty significant stretch. That's totally okay. Just see if with each one you can get into the stretch a little bit more. Maybe being able to reach those fingertips towards the ground just another centimeter. Taking your time with this one, giving yourself that grace for balance support if you ever have to reach and touch the wall or a chair. Reach. And we'll do one more on each side. Reach and sweep. Last one, reach and sweep. Very good. Alrighty, our second circuit is going to be down on the floor. So find your way onto that nice comfortable spot. We're going to be on our hands and our knees for the first exercise. So maybe grab extra cushion if you need that by rolling up your yoga mat or using a pillow. And then find your way to our hands and knees position with knees right under hips, hands right under shoulders. And we're going to do just a scapula movement here. I'm first going to think about squeezing my shoulder blades together. And then I'm going to think about spreading them apart as far as I can, like I'm trying to reach this middle back up through the ceiling. So really exaggerating both ends of this range of motion. We're squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then we're spreading them apart. Squeezing them together. Arms are staying straight. We're not making this a cat-cow or anything. We're just focusing it on the shoulder blades, moving around our rib cage as we push into that rounded position and squeezing them together at the bottom. We'll do that one more time. Hopefully this one just feels really nice. And rest. Good. And then our second one is going to be hamstring focused yet again for today. And so if you need to have your back against a wall to be in this position with one leg out, one knee bent, that's totally fine. And what we're going to do is a reach towards this foot, but we're keeping it active versus just a static hold. You might be only able to reach your kind of mid-calf or ankle. That's totally fine. We're also getting a little bit of a back, lower back, mid-back spinal erector stretch as we reach and come back up. Reach and come back up. Not going too fast, but just nice controlled for one more time. And then we'll switch legs and get the other side. So one leg tucked, other leg out to the side, reaching If you're anything like me, one side will feel a little bit tighter than the other. For me, it's this side. So just listen to that and don't overdo it, but just go to that comfortably uncomfortable place that we like to get to for mobility. Make sure you're breathing. We'll do 2 more times. Reach and up, reach and rest. Very good. And then for our last one, we're gonna find our way down onto your back and have the knees bent. And we're gonna do just some knee drops toward the side. I'm just gonna let my knees fall towards the side as far as is comfortable, and then bring them back up. Now for starters, my feet are just a couple inches away from my butt, dropping the knees down, bringing them back through center. Just a gentle twist, but keeping the range of motion in a really safe place. If you get a few cracks or pops, totally normal. Just keep it nice and smooth, not rushing to come back up. Try to keep even pace for both the lowering and the lifting. Last one. And rest. Very good. Alrighty. And then take a moment, find your way back to our hands and knees position for that shoulder blade movement. Our scapula pulling together and spreading apart will be our first one. So again, hands just right under shoulders, knees right under hips. Sometimes people tend to be really squished in this position, so make sure that you do have that distance between your hands and your knees. And then when you're ready, start that squeeze and spread, fully spreading your shoulder blades and reaching your spine towards your ceiling will naturally cause that rounding through the rest of your spine. So let that happen naturally. We're not resisting that, but it's not the main focus. The main focus is letting the shoulder blades come together and then pushing them apart. Squeeze. Maybe exhale as you round. Inhale as you pull. Exhale. Round. Last time. Squeeze together and spread apart. Wonderful. A good posture one that is. And then we'll go back to our hamstrings, nice and tall, 1 foot out, 1 leg tucked. Tall posture with my torso resting up against a wall if that feels more comfortable. And then I'm reaching towards my foot and coming back up. Reaching towards my foot, maybe even past your foot, just depending on where your flexibility is at. If you're nowhere near the foot, that's totally okay. But maybe you have a little bit more mobility and flexibility in your hamstrings. So allow yourself to go a little further that second round, only if it feels okay for you. Reach. 1 more time. Reach and back up. Good. And then shift over to the other side, nice and tall, paying attention to how it feels on one side versus the other. Taking your time. It's a controlled rocking motion, not too fast, but not too slow either. Keeping in a nice active stretch. Reach back tall. Reach. We'll do 2 more. Reach as far as you can. Back up. Last one. Reach and back up. Very good. And then we'll find our way back down onto your back with knees bent. Feet aren't all the way tucked in, but they're not too far away from your hips either. Hands just resting comfortably. And then we'll start that knee drop and back up. Knees dropping and back up. Maybe this time you feel like you're able to control that drop just a tiny bit further. Nothing crazy, knees aren't going all the way to the floor. We're not letting the hips fully lift off the ground. Just keeping it in a place where then you can lift the knees back up and over to the other side. Again, make sure that you're not holding your breath. And raise the knees back up and over. We'll do one more time to the side, back up, and last one, other side. And for today, so bring yourself back up to a standing position. We'll give you a moment to get there, and we're going back to upper body for our first mobility exercise of our last circuit of the day. We're going to do a bend over Y to T, then down. So I'm starting in a hinged over position with a flat back. If that's challenging, you can certainly do this just a tiny bit hinged, but if you're able to bend over a little bit, then bring your arms to a Y, then to a T, and then down in front of you. A Y, T, and then down in front of you. Make sure to breathe. Y, T, down. Two more. Y, T, down. Last one. Y, T, and down. Rest. Very good. And then our second one is going to be a little hip mobility. We're going to do a leg swing, but with a knee up at the top. So start with one knee in front of you. Might want a wall for balance or something to hold on to. But with this knee, we're going to swing it back and then back to knee up. Swing it back, back to knee up. Swing, knee up, swing, and knee up. Swing. Notice I'm not like really twisting to the side. I'm staying facing forward. So that means my leg can only lift behind me a certain amount. One more time. Swing and knee up. Very good. Then on to our other side. One leg up in that high knee position. Swing, back up. Swing, back up. Swing. We'll do four more. Swing. This is the one of the few where you do get to embrace that swinging motion a little bit. Enjoy it while it lasts. Last one. And rest. Good. And then our last one is going to be just a nice, gentle upper body rotation. I'm going to have my hands just in this position here, kind of right at torso level. And then I'm going to just twist, moving only my upper body. I'm not letting my hips come with me like that. My hips stay facing forward. And I'm moving my hands over to one side, drawing the elbow back, and to the other side. You can let your head follow that movement. Just keep an eye on your hips and that they're staying forward. We'll do two more to each side. Nice and smooth. Last one each way. And rest. Good. Alrighty, one more round of all these three to go, and then we'll be done. So find your way back to our hinged over position, starting with hands just right down here. Raise to the Y, T, and down. Y, T, and down. You hopefully should feel those back muscles working. We've really had a lot of upper back, shoulder blade focused work today, as well as hamstrings. So you might even feel them just a little bit holding this position. If you need to stand up a little taller to give yourself a rest, feel free. But if you can stay hinged, go for it. Last one, Y, T, and down. Perfect. And then our second one, that swinging leg movement, starting in our knee up position. Swing, bring the knee up. Swing, bring the knee up. Swing. Make sure to breathe. Swing. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Then onto that other side, standing nice and tall, knee up, and then swing. 3, 4, we're going for 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. And then our last thing of the day, good one to end on, our upper body rotations. So feet are just a couple inches apart or all the way together, hands right here, rotating just the upper body as you shift from one side to the other. Maybe having your head follow your elbow as it goes back might help you get an extra little inch, but make sure that the hips, they'll want to go with you, but you're forcing them to stay locked in place so we isolate that upper body movement. Take a big inhale and exhale. Do that one more time. Inhale as you go to one side for the last time, and exhale as you go to the other side for the last time. Wonderful. Alrighty, you made it through our 20 minutes of mobility. I hope that you feel loosened up and ready for a strength workout or some cardio, more movement in your day. If you ever have any questions about HelloStrengthSeniors or how to incorporate this mobility into a workout, let me know. And if not, we will see you next week for more morning mobility. Have a wonderful day.